We are at the party of Heads Are Rolling Drum and Bass Party in Canberra at Potbelly, and the headliner is SAL. And here we are with Declan Rascal, just for a few words about him, about the show, and how he got involved in this. Hello, Declan. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, really good, thanks, man. How are you doing?
I'm great. How do you think the party is going so far?
Yeah, it's really good. Like, they haven't had one in about a year, so like everybody's here at open. Like, it's fantastic. Like, I came in really early because I was just like, I want to see everybody, and yeah, it's been fantastic. It's like I reckon it's gonna be pumping later.
That's cool. And I know that you are playing on the lineup. How did you get involved with Heads Are Rolling and with this party?
So like, I think about 5 years ago I met Heath at like the Dragon Dreaming Festival at like the drum and bass stage, and I started going to a few of his gigs. Like, he was doing these at a place like called like Digress and stuff. They're real cool and like really dark and like really different. And I think about 4 years ago I got like involved with them. They sort of sent him a demo, got like a night doing just like an opening and stuff, and yeah, we always just got on like a house on fire. So after that we started like seeing each other a lot, like just in our personal time, and I suppose subsequently we just got like a lot of shows like going here together, because I suppose I really like the sound that they've always been sort of like pushing. So yeah, like I think and yeah, I think I haven't missed one of the Head shows in 4 years. Like, I think I've managed to get to like every single one. So like I really like these ones. They're my favorite, like in Canberra, I reckon.
And did you play at most of those shows?
I'd say about like 50-50 of them, like, because they rotate through a lot of the people that are around. Because it's always really good to have like a fresh kind of lineup and just kind of not the same few people playing every time. So I probably play about 50% of them, and that's real nice too, because like sometimes I can kind of come and have the night off and like enjoy myself. I don't have to sort of be just completely on top of it, sort of like I am when I'm playing. So I really like that. Every now and then I just sort of get to have a night off, but it's just fantastic playing for these guys. They're a real treat.
And you kind of play a wide range of music. So these are obviously drum and bass parties. So is this the music of preference, or what? How come you play at these parties? Or what's your preferred genre or subgenre of music?
Yeah, cool. So I've always really enjoyed doing a lot of different things, because when I was younger, I started going to sort of like outdoor festivals and a lot of clubs, and there's all of these different environments that kind of exist that attract like a certain kind of people. And so I started originally, I think I was playing like psytrance and techno and stuff at bush parties, and then a couple of years later I was doing drum and bass. And as I just sort of picked things up, I kept sort of performing those sort of like styles, even though they weren't like maybe my main kind of vision at the time. So just through kind of collecting a lot of that stuff over, I think it's been like 9 years now that I've been mixing. So do a lot of drum and bass for these guys and a couple outdoor festivals. It's usually my main thing, sort of to hit that question. And I often find that the drum and bass is like very specific, so it really gets like a certain kind of people going, and I love these parties the most. But more often than not, I find the diversity is really like a good thing to kind of have in your artistry, like to sort of go different places and kind of have different schools of thought that you're encountering. And I suppose you just kind of have like a wider kind of perception of what's out there, and it's very challenging, like learning to sort of play the right music for these places, or just kind of different people that are around, and doing that in a way that they're going to be receptive of, and really sort of meeting people on their level no matter where you're going. So we do the drum and bass stuff here. A good friend of mine, like Raga of Low Rags to Riches, like we do a thing together called Response, where we do sort of like hard rave things and like a lot of hardcore and like breaks and like acid and electro music. Like that's really sort of just like ravey, and play a bit of techno at like outdoor parties, doing a bit of house music and stuff at a place called Mile High. So like it's always really busy, and because you're sort of in a couple different camps, you are sort of playing more often than not. You have like a really busy schedule, and you're like quite active with the work, so it keeps you sort of sharp. So I really enjoy playing like a lot of different things because it kind of awards you an opportunity to stay really active and also just engage with the diversity of what's out there, which is like something I've always kind of appreciated a lot, and yeah, I sort of don't really see that changing, eh?
Well, I appreciate it very much too. I try to be like that too. I have my certain styles of music, but I prefer to play just whatever I like listening to. But I just want to clarify that question. You've named all these genres, but what is your preferred genre? What do you play for yourself normally?
Oh yeah, that really like evolves like over the given years. Like um, drum and bass, I'd say would be the main thing that I really love. Like I always just love that environment and those kind of parties. They're so rowdy, and I suppose just like they probably speak to me the most over like sort of other styles. And I suppose it's kind of interesting because when you really get immersed into a style like that was my main thing for 4 years. So I became a lot more across it than I was with other styles of music. And now I find I really know what I like, and I sort of have like a lot of different music to play in a lot of different places. So now it's just about finding small things that I really enjoy and kind of want to bring into the act to keep it like really fresh for when I do the drum and bass stuff. But I kind of like to sort of really get the most that I can out of a sound that I'm loving at the time, but I try not to get too attached to it, and I try and sort of just like move in with like whatever the flavor of the year is, or like whatever I'm sort of particularly enjoying. Like any year it could be drum and bass, it could be techno, it could be house, like could be them all at the same time. It really sort of depends what the external inspirations are and like who's doing what, and what people, like what people on the ground and just people who come to all sorts of parties are receptive of. But yeah, I love my drum and bass.
I can't get a straight answer out of you, can I? Well, drum and bass. Well, I heard drum and bass. I heard many times. So in this case, you're collaborating with Heads Are Rolling. What other communities, groups, local artists that you normally collaborate with?
Like I said before, Rags and I do a thing called Response. We sort of like do that together, and he sort of showed me, just a lot of interesting like hard rave stuff, and I really took a liking to it, and we sort of started collaborating a bit. So we do a lot of shows together with that, which is, I think, sort of like maybe within the recent 2 years. Like it's something I'm quite sort of like fresh to, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things. So I do a lot of stuff for Heads. I do some stuff for Response. Tim Biscuit Bites and stuff. He is very sort of involved with a lot of outdoor events. So because we're sort of like have a bit of a close working relationship, whenever those are kind of happening, he'll occasionally hit me up, if he thinks that I'll be a good addition for it. So I like to keep it very diverse, because I find if I settle on one thing for too long, you're very focused on certain things. Like you kind of have these strong preconceptions of what the music is, and so sometimes you might not be open to new things that come along, and you might kind of like dig down into your little hole with sort of like what you're comfortable with. But if you're continuing to perform, you're potentially going to lose that ability to speak to people, because they might be listening to sort of the next thing. That's usually what people on the ground are really interested in. They're like, what's the newest kind of like thing that is inspiring them? And so I try to like step back a little bit sometimes from something that I've been doing for a while, because otherwise I'd just be blind to what I need to do to keep, to stay relevant and to, not shut myself off to the experiences that are out there, even though that I'm kind of settled, now in my, like my craft. Like I've been doing it for a long time. I know what I like, I know what I don't, but I try to break that up a lot so that I'm not, getting stuck, and just, not doing the right thing. But
I think it's a good attitude, especially when you're performing for people. You got to be connected with what people want. Gotta have that attachment. But a slightly different subject. I know that you have started a DJing school. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? How that is going? What's it all about? How can people find more information about that?
So yeah, I usually just get people to contact me personally through my artist page because we just like arrange them privately, or if they, find my personal page, they can also contact me through there. I started doing that in COVID just because I suppose there wasn't as much music events in the live sort of space to participate in, and it's very hard when you do something for a very long time and you're sort of not able to engage with it anymore, when it's a very big sort of cornerstone of who you are. Excuse me. And so I started the DJ school sort of lessons because I really wanted to kind of, I suppose, like kind of share my knowledge in a way and, see what people who are just getting into it are doing. It's really good for me to like maybe scout talent for our gigs that Raghav and I do. It's really good to understand what people are listening to for me, and it really sort of, I suppose, shows you what you believe, because like when you're sort of teaching it, you have to be quite firm in what you know and what you don't. So I found it was very, very good for me to, I suppose, kind of make a decision on like what I believe about certain things and the way it should be done. So yeah, it was kind of like something that was really sort of for me, and also just to kind of keep participating in music while there wasn't something sort of out there to do, because yeah, it was very difficult to, I suppose not be as active and not be able to engage with a very important part of yourself.
That sounds like a professional. That's all I can say. So you said that people can find you through your artist page. What's the artist page? Where can people find you, your music?
So I do most of my, sort of announcements through Facebook. I have my Rascal artist page on Facebook, and I have an Instagram now, which I don't do a lot of stuff through just yet, but I'm sort of planning to do a bit more. All of my music I do on YouTube, just because I really like, kind of like yourself, I like the video stuff. Like I find it's there's something a little bit more there that people can kind of connect with, and sometimes just listening to a mix for myself can be a little bit, I might not be particularly engaged with it, but if I can see someone like actually kind of doing it, like I can learn a lot of things from it. It's very kind of stimulating to watch, and if people make really good videos, they're quite, they're just really enjoyable. It's a really nice thing. And I did a lot of mixes for a long time through Mixcloud. Like I've got a lot of just my audio content on Mixcloud, which is just same thing, just like a Rascal, same sort of thing. But yeah, I was never as kind of inspired to produce them as I was when I started making the videos. So there's probably about like 9 hours of just different video content on there, just all different genres, lots of drum and bass stuff, a few other things. It's real good. So yeah, there's you can find everything you need to through Facebook because it's all connected to that. But yeah, you can look up my YouTube page as well, which has I think like a lot of cool stuff on it. I really enjoyed making it. So.
Well, guys, you heard him. Check it out. Check out the YouTube page, Facebook page, Rascal. Mate, what can we expect from you tonight?
I think I'm going to start off with sort of a little bit of the softer kind of slippery liquid stuff, and then make it a little bit more broken with some jungle, and then I suppose it's going to be interesting because I've got to go in and see what the guy before me is doing as well. That's like, you can always kind of like plan for these things, but as soon as you go in the room, it can get thrown out the window. But it's probably going to be like some really smooth kind of sci-fi Blade Runner stuff. Like I'm pretty prone to that sort of thing, like just really slippery, lots of samples, lots of cuts. It should be, a bit of a laugh, I reckon.
That's cool. Looking forward to it, man. And I guess the last question is, who do you think is the best DJ or producer on the lineup?
Oh man, that's a toughie. I'm hoping SAL. I reckon SAL will be ripping like the headliner. I reckon it'll be really good. But if not the headliner, I reckon like Tidy and Samwise. Like those guys are just dons. Like bringing out the records and like the horn. It just gets me every time. Those guys are the best. So that'd be my vote.
That's cool. Looking forward to that. I haven't seen Tidy and Samwise perform before. Looking forward to that. Thank you very much for the interview, for making it exciting and entertaining for the people like me. I wish you all the best and looking forward to new music. Any last few words?
Oh no, I was just thanks for having us, man. It was really good. It was lovely to come and do something like this. And yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Cool. Okay, you follow Rascal on his Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you can find him. Follow him then. All the best. Stay tuned. Peace.